I trade for less than 2 hours a day, and on a good session, I can make anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000. But when I started trading over 7 years ago, I was completely lost. I was wasting time overcomplicating everything and thought that I needed years of experience or some secret strategy in order to become profitable. What I eventually realized was that none of it was true. You don't need to make thousands of dollars a day in order to become a successful trader. You just need a simple, repeatable system that protects your capital, gives you a proven edge, and allows you to scale up over time. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I would do if I was to start all over with a small account and a goal to make $100 a day. I'll walk you through the strategy, the risk management, the step-by-step process, and then share with you real examples in real time. Let's get into it. So in today's video, we're going to go over 5 very important price action concepts that you need to understand as a beginner trader. Number 1, starting off with price control, understanding who's in control, the buyers or the sellers. Number 2, if it's going to be a true or false breakout. Number 3, understanding entries in the markets. Number 4, candlestick speed / momentum. And then 5, understanding what's called the last leg of a move. I'm going to go over each individual concept, and then in the end, we're going to head on to the charts to tie it all together. Before we get started, as you can see, this is my current month-to-date P&L for the month of July. So far, as you can see, I'm up $59,000 this month. I've only had one red day this month so far, and I've been able to consistently make money in the markets while only taking 1 to 2 trades per day max. And with the concepts that I'm about to teach you in today's video, I've been able to achieve results like this. I do want to mention that I've been trading for the past 7 years, and I lost for years in the markets until I was able to finally develop a consistent and proven edge in the markets and have solid risk management. So with that being said, let's start off with price control and understanding who's in control of the markets. And there's really only 3 different ways the markets can move. Number 1, price is in an uptrend where we're making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Number 2, what we have is consolidation. This is when price is stuck inside of a range. We're ranging between a key area in price, and there's not really any sort of clear movement in the market. And finally, what we have here is a downtrend when we're making lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and we're having a push towards the downside. What does this look like on a chart? As you can see right here, what we have is a chart pulled up, and you can see the overall markets right now are making an uptrend in the markets. You can see we start consolidating. Once we break above this key technical level, now we start trending towards the upside. So we originally have this trend. Once we break above, you can see we start moving towards the upside. We start building higher highs and higher lows, and we start trending. And now you can see all of a sudden the market rejects, we break structure, and now we start kind of consolidating. We're failing to break above our previous level of resistance, and we kind of reject off these areas, and we come back into what's called consolidation. And now you can see once we break back below, the markets start to reverse and we start to head back towards the downside. And this is when we start downtrending. As you can see right here, the markets go from trending to consolidating and then back to trending. And as I mentioned, the markets can only do one of 3 things. It can uptrend, it can consolidate, or it's going to be in a downtrend. Another possible scenario that can form in the markets, which is my personal favorite, so you can see the last example was more so of a reversal setup. But in this case, what we have is an uptrend. So after the consolidation, price can only do one of 2 things. It can continue higher, or it's going to have a reversal. In this case, when we go from consolidation to uptrend, we're still in a very clear trend in the markets. And this is exactly what I like to look for: uptrend, consolidation, uptrend. And this is when some of the best opportunities present themselves. And as you can see, this is what it looks like here on the charts. You can see we are in an uptrend. We start consolidating, and then we have that next leg towards the upside. So what we want to capture is these trends in the markets, and we want to be able to decipher when we go from consolidation to trending. And if we're able to identify what periods we're in and when we can see the market start to trend once again, and we're able to capture these trends, that's going to be very important for our trading. Number 2, true breakouts. So number 2 is understanding if the markets are going to have a true breakout versus a false breakout. What does this look like? As you can see, what we have marked out is our previous level of resistance. Now we like to see turn into support. To understand a true breakout, what we're going to have marked out is this swing high. Once price breaks above with a strong candle close, this is a good signal that we can have a true breakout, right? Especially if we have what's called displacement. You can see we have a strong candle close. We're forming a bullish gap in the markets. And now we come back down. That's also going to be key here as well. And we want to see if the markets are going to retest this level of resistance, if we can turn into support for that next leg towards the upside. What does this look like here? As you can see, what we're going to have marked out, the markets go from consolidation. We finally break outside this consolidation. You can see that price is now retesting its previous level of resistance, turn into support, and we have that nice continuation towards the upside. And this is a sign of a true breakout. Once we break out the markets and we have that retest, that's when we can see a push towards the upside. So what does a false breakout look like? A false breakout, what we want to have marked out is this swing high. What happens is price pushes up in towards this swing high, and essentially we fail to break above. We can close above, but you can see sellers immediately step in, we reject off this level, and we end up starting to push back towards the downside. And this is what's called a false breakout in the markets. When we end up rejecting off key areas, sellers step in, we're unable to have continuation, and we close back underneath, signifying that we're most likely going to end up continuing back towards the downside. And this is good to understand. If we have a true breakout, that means we can see continuation. If we have a false breakout, we want to be cautious because of a potential reversal in the markets. What does this look like here on the charts? As you can see, what we're going to have marked out is our swing high. As you can see, price now comes back up in towards our swing high. We have a touch here, and now price tries getting above. You can see we have a couple candle closes above our previous level of resistance, but not with a strong candle close. Sellers immediately step in here off this level. We close back underneath, and as you can see now, we flip back underneath and we end up pushing lower. And this is a good sign of a false breakout when you can see we don't really have any strong candle close. Sellers are stepping in, indicated by the upper wick, and now you can see this reversal is in the markets. Entries is the next one. We have two different types of entry models. We have the bullish entry model along with the bearish entry model. Both these entry models are made up of 3 candles. The first candle is what's called our lead candle. We have our second candle, which is called our reaction candle, and the third candle, which is going to be our confirmation candle. In a bearish entry model, what we're going to have marked out is a key level. Let's say, for example, this is high of day. Price pushes up in towards high of day, and now we're gravitating towards upside. You can see we have our lead candle, so price pushes higher. We have our reaction candle indicating sellers are stepping in. The candle of the color doesn't matter for the second one. You can see the third candle, what's called our confirmation candle. This is by far the most important candle. As you can see right here, we're closing underneath that first candle, which signifies we're bearish. And of course, if we close underneath that first candle, that would mean we're even more bearish for a full-blown reversal towards the downside. Or if you're talking about the right-hand side, which is the bullish entry model confirmation, it's the exact same thing, but the opposite. We have our lead candle, which price pushes lower. We have our reaction candle. Now you can see buyers are stepping in. So we open above the level, we push lower. Buyers show strength as we close back above our key technical level. The third candle is a confirmation if we do want to continue higher. So once price breaks back above, we can be looking for a flip back towards the upside. We can wait for the candle to break back above. We can wait for the candle to close back above its second candle high, but this signifies momentum, and we're most likely going to continue back towards the upside. So this is what's called our bullish entry model along with our bearish entry model. I'll show you guys exactly what this looks like on the charts here in a second. But as you can see on the charts, a lot of these key pivot areas on the charts where we have reversals happen with the 3-bar entry. As you can see right here, what we have is 1 candle, we have 2, reversal, and you can see price starts pushing towards the downside. Next, as you can see, we're at the lows. Now we end up creating a reversal here with a 3-bar back towards the upside. We have our lead, reaction, confirmation. That price indeed wants to head back towards the upside. You can see we end up having a nice bounce play from the lows all the way back inside the middle of the range. Of course, we're going to combine this with key levels plus understanding the higher time frames. As you can see, this 3-bar pattern is very powerful, and there's going to be a lot of turning points on the charts. Number 4, candlestick speed / momentum. And understanding this is very key, more importantly, when we're looking for continuation moves. As you can see right here, what we have is consolidation. When we're trading inside this period, it might be a little bit more difficult. But as you can see right here, we end up having nice speed. Within 1 candle, we basically moved in the same range that we did within the past 20 previous candles. So what we want to be capturing is this leg in price whenever we have these quick moves in the markets. If we draw out this area, as you can see, there's multiple trading opportunities around this general area. Price pushes back. You can see once we break back underneath, we flip. You can see we end up having a really strong push right back towards the downside underneath our key technical level. And you can see these type of moves in the markets are what we want to be capturing. Look at how fast the market moves in comparison to when we consolidate or when we're ranging. We want to be looking for opportunities when price is moving the quickest because we don't have to be in the trade that long and we don't have to stick around in the markets waiting for price. This is more so important when we're trading options because we need speed and momentum. If we're trading stocks and futures, we don't have to worry about that as much. Let's talk about the last concept, which is the last leg of a move, and it's very similar to the previous concept, which is understanding speed and momentum. The last leg of a move is always going to be the quickest to your target. So as you can see, what we have is a downtrend in the markets. We're making lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. And now we're coming back down into a key technical area. Very rarely will you see markets reverse and we'll have a straight V shape and we'll push all the way back towards the upside. It's very rare that will happen. Most likely what's normal is we'll break structure, we'll start building up higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. But this right here, this last leg of a move is generally the fastest move in the markets, right? Because we're looking to take out this key level of liquidity. Once price ends up breaking structure back towards the upside, this move right here is the quickest, and this is the best opportunity in the markets because we usually have a really strong push up in towards high of day, and we can potentially have continuation towards the upside here as well. So this right here is what we want to be looking to capture. It's called the last leg of a move on the charts. Same thing to the downside. As I mentioned earlier, very rarely will you have it reject off a key level and have a straight move towards the downside. Once it breaks structure, that's when we can be looking for confirmation that price does want to head lower. And once it breaks back underneath key levels, we start holding underneath our previous levels of support that turn into resistance. We want to be capturing the last leg of a move, which is also called the final distribution for a push towards the downside. So with that being said, I just went over 5 important price action concepts. Now let's go on to the charts to show you guys exactly what this will look like in the real markets. So as you can see, the first thing that we're going to talk about here on the higher time frames is price control. As you can see, the markets end up having a nice push higher. We end up pushing back towards the downside. We kind of consolidate here for a bit on Tesla. Now, as you can see, we're now starting to break towards the downside. We break underneath this key technical level. We're now starting to hold underneath key levels of support here as well. So I'd say we're originally in an uptrend. You have that consolidation, and now potentially we can start downtrending in the markets if we get underneath and hold underneath this 985. So if we go into the lower time frames, the key levels that we can have marked out here is going to be that previous day highs. That is our key technical area that we have marked out here on Tesla. We go back onto the higher time frames here. You can see this level is very key. Level of resistance, once we broke above, you can see price now is getting back underneath this key area. You can just kind of mark out this general area on price. If we now hold underneath that 385, you can see continuation towards the downside, right? This would also be the last leg of a move all the way down in towards that 370 here on the higher time frames. Let's go into the lower time frames and keep an eye out on the reaction that we have off our previous day highs coming into today. If we can get above, of course, we could be looking for a trade higher, but in this case, if we can reject off this level, we can see a push all the way back towards the downside here on Tesla. So as you can see here for Tesla, within the first 5 minutes of market open, price comes back up in towards our key technical area, fail to break above. We end up having this false breakout. We reject off this area. And as you can see, big sellers are stepping in off of our previous day highs. If you go back onto the lower time frames here now, you can see we have a 3-bar pattern here on the 1 minute time frame. The levels that we can have marked out here now is going to be that 5-minute range low. And we can now go back onto the 1 minute time frame, and we can also mark out this up close candle here as well that we have marked out. So for Tesla, what we like to see is maintain underneath this 5-minute range low, this up close candle for continuation lower. So as you can see right here for Tesla, we come up into this up close candle, sellers are stepping in. We're now closing back underneath, reclaiming back below that 5-minute range low here as well. This is where we can go look in short, stop loss at break above. And as for the take profit, we can look to target all the way back down in towards our previous day lows and below here as well. Now let's play out the tape. And as you can see right there on Tesla, once we broke underneath that 5-minute range low, held that order block, we end up having a nice push all the way back down in towards that previous day lows. If you look at this from a higher time frame perspective here as well, you can definitely see we're getting the sellers stepping in right off our key technical level. And now we're getting that nice push towards the downside here on Tesla. Now let's go on to the next example that I have for us today. So as you can see right here on the QQQ, the first thing that we're going to talk about is price control. We start trending towards the upside. We end up having a nice push. Now we start consolidating, and now we're actually breaking underneath our previous day lows, and price is starting to break towards the downside. So we end up having a trend higher. We have our consolidation, and now we potentially have this reversal in play here on the QQQ. As for the main levels that we have marked out, what I'm going to have marked out here is that previous day lows. Other levels I'm going to have marked out here as well is going to be our 698, which is that gap fill area and the area that we broke out from. So these are the key areas coming to market open. For the Qs, what I like to see coming to market open here is a reaction that we have off our 698. If we reject off this area, we could see room all the way down in towards our 690 here on the higher time frames. So I have these areas now drawn out. Let's go on to the lower time frames. So as you can see right here on the QQQ, you can see right off the bat, we're having this nice initial push towards the upside. We can see now some sellers are stepping in right off this key technical area. You can also see on the 5-minute time frame, we're engulfing its previous candle low. So this is technically the key area in price. We have a 3-bar confirmation where price pushes towards the upside. We have a reaction, and now we have that confirmation indicating that the market structure has shifted back towards the downside. If we now go on to the 1-minute time frame, you can also see we're breaking underneath our key technical level of support and breaking underneath this 5-minute range low here as well. So based off this structure and this impulsive move towards the downside, now we can look for any sort of pullback for a push towards the downside. As you can see for Tesla, we're kind of rejecting off this general area. This is exactly where we can go looking short off our 696. Stop loss in this case can be all the way back up and towards our 698. And as for TP, we can look to target our low of day. Plus we can look, of course, for a continuation all the way down in towards our 688 here on the higher time frames. All right, let's play this out. So as you can see right there on the QQQ, we end up pushing all the way back down in towards that higher time frame key level. And this was a great example of combining all the different concepts. Starting off with price control, understanding that now we're in a downtrend. Then you go on to the lower time frames. You can see we have our 3-bar confirmation entry. We have the last leg of a move on the higher time frames. And as you can see, this is the exact move that we end up capturing towards the downside. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, appreciate if you guys drop a like and sub. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next week for a brand new video. Peace.